I just want to make this clear. I am not trying to glorify drugs in any way whatsoever. I'm just sharing my experience and my story with LSD and how it completely changed the direction of my life. I don't do drugs anymore. I'm sober now. But yeah, let's get into it. When I was a junior in high school, I got sent to this outpatient rehab program, and we got drug tested every single day. But what doesn't show up on drug tests is LSD. So that was pretty popular in the group, so I learned about it pretty quick, and I did it for the first time, and I was completely by myself. A lot of people say you're supposed to trip with a trip sitter. I've tripped with other people maybe twice. So I just kind of did it by myself, and it wasn't spiritual for me at all. I really was just trying to get high. I was trying to feel good, and LSD did that. So I was just, I was taking tabs and then watching TV or playing Xbox or watching YouTube, whatever. I wasn't using it as like a spiritual journey or to find better answers or to find an awakening. I was just using it to get high. But the more I did it, I realized something. There was something serious behind this. There was a deeper meaning to psychedelics. It was a very profound drug, but I didn't really know what it was trying to show me. I just knew it was trying to show me something, and it was very, very deep. For the next couple of years, LSD was just a part of my life. I was doing it a lot, and I liked it because every trip, it just showed me something new. It was like entering into a completely different realm, and every time you go back, it remembers you and you remember it. It's like every other previous trip, just like it completely lines up. It's like perfectly aligned, so you remember everything about it, and then when you come out of it, you kind of forget a little bit. But when you go back into it, you're like, oh fuck yeah, I remember that. A couple years back when I was 19, this was my last acid trip, and I was alone in my parents' basement, and I took 4 tabs, which might sound like a lot, but at the time I didn't really think so. But my tolerance was kind of low, so I didn't really think that one through. I took 4 tabs, and I was hitting my cart, my pen, before it even kicked in. So as soon as it kicked in, I was already stoned as fuck, and it kicked in, and as soon as it kicked in, it was just like instant paranoia. It just just extreme anxiety. I'd never felt that before. That's never happened before, so I kind of freaked out because I didn't really know what to do. I didn't know what was happening. But I tried to like calm myself down. I put on the show iCarly, if you ever seen that. I don't know why. I called my girlfriend at the time. She like helped me calm down. I was like, okay, I'm good. But for some reason, I just kept hitting my dab pen. I don't know why. And it just kept putting me deeper and deeper into the trip, and I started to lose it a little bit. And it got to the point where everything around me just like I was in my basement, there was no more basement. The basement was just gone. It was just like black and kind of blurry. It was just like me in my own head. Everything else just disappeared, but I could still see the TV. So while I had the show going on, I also had a conversation with Juice WRLD. And I know this might sound fucking crazy. If you've never done psychedelics, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But if you've done psychs, you might have had experiences like this. But so my favorite rapper at the time was Juice WRLD, and I had a full-on conversation with Juice WRLD, and he was basically telling me I need to quit going down this path, like all the drugs, the women, like it doesn't get you to where you think it's gonna get you, and you need to change. You gotta quit chasing these highs, you gotta quit chasing money, quit chasing women, and you gotta focus on yourself. You really gotta start making better decisions. And I was like, holy shit. And it was like a full-on conversation. Like he was there, I was right here. And like I said, I've never had a conversation with a fictional character before. Like I've never actually seen something that wasn't there in a trip. So like seeing this, I was like, holy fuck. And then iCarly was on in the background on the TV show, and I could still see that. And I was like, what's happening? What is this? And Spencer from iCarly like shifted to the middle of the screen, and the script just stopped. The TV show just stopped. And he was like, you created this. I was like, how am I talking to you? And he was like, you created this. You can do whatever you want. And I was like, holy fuck, like I am the creator. And that was the first glimpse I ever had as like me being the creator of everything that I see and do. Long story short, my parents found me. They had to help calm me down about 12 hours later. And I kind of came to. But after that, my life has never been the same. It completely changed my world to this day. So after this experience, after this trip, I tried to tell people. I tried to tell my parents, my friends, and honestly, people just thought I was insane, rightfully so. I'd be skeptical too, but it was just like, you know, you were doing drugs, whatever you saw was the devil, it was a hallucination, it wasn't real. And I was like, okay, yeah. And I kind of convinced myself that a little bit, but over time it just like kept revealing itself. And I realized the trip wasn't the hallucination. Real life was the hallucination. Everything I saw on psychedelics was the truth. Everything I saw while I was on LSD and what happened during the trip, that was true. Everything else was self-deception. Like right now, this is the trip. Psychedelics were the truth. And like I said, if you've never done psychs, you're gonna think I'm fucking crazy. If you've done psychedelics, you probably know what I'm talking about. So I started searching for answers. I got obsessed with trying to figure out what I just saw. So I started reading books on philosophy and metaphysics and psychology, and I started doing research on other LSD trips and DMT and psychedelic trips, watching YouTube videos, reading research papers. I really dove into this head on. And this is kind of something that I didn't really tell people about. I kind of kept it on the side, but I was really, really interested in philosophy and like this deeper meaning of life and trying to find more answers and not just taking things in life for how they are, really understanding why. But like, yeah, but why? Because you can always go deeper. Don't just take things for how they are, dig deeper. And that's what I started to do. After that experience for the next 2 or 3 years, I still really struggled with depression, addiction, anxiety. You know, I was still hooked on weed, alcohol, pills, and I had like chronic anxiety at that point, straight paranoia almost every day because of that trip. So I got hooked on Xanax and perks pretty bad on and off throughout those next few years. And I still really struggled with addiction and eating junk food. I wasn't exercising. I still treated my body like shit. Even though I heard that message in the trip, it didn't fully click for me yet. But as I dug deeper into life and reality and consciousness and just psychology in general, I started to treat myself a little bit better. I did start to listen to that message, and I started to really change my life, and I started exercising and going to the gym and being careful about the foods and liquids I put into my body and being careful about, you know, really trying to get addiction figured out and depression and anxiety, because I realized I can go deep into all this metaphysical and philosophy, and I can go as deep as I want, but what's the point if I'm not really there in real life, if I don't have my life in control, you know, career, fitness, what I'm eating, my addiction, depression, anxiety, if I can't control any of that, then what's the point of digging deeper? No one's gonna trust me. No one's gonna listen to what I have to say. No one's gonna care. People are gonna be like, dude, why are you focusing on all this when you're really, really struggling with all this? And I was like, yeah, you know, I need to focus more on the practical. So I still, you know, I was still doing my research and I was still digging deeper and reading books and watching YouTube videos, but it was kind of on the side at this point. And I still do it to this day, but like I said, I don't really talk about it. And right now, I've recently been really focused on just getting my shit together, trying to find out how to make money and be my own boss, and fitness and running, I'm really big into that, and stocks, and just more practical stuff. And really just trying to get my shit together. And that's what Simon's Ascent, where you're watching this video right now, that's all about. That's what it's all about. And all the videos you've seen on my channel, that's, for the most part, that's what I'm all about. But for some reason, I just felt like I needed to talk about this because it is quite literally the biggest part of my story and nobody knows it. Like my friends, I don't talk about it. My friends don't know this, my parents don't know it. No one really knows it because they just think I'm fucking crazy. And hearing this from an outside perspective, you're right. This is crazy. It sounds insane, but it's like, this is my experience. This is my story. I'm not telling you what to believe. You shouldn't believe this. You should be extremely skeptical of what I'm saying right now. But this just led me down a path of really finding the deeper meaning to life and seeing through all the bullshit and self-deception that life throws at you. So this was a really important part of my process. So it feels weird if I just didn't share that. So I feel like I need to share that. And I'm not telling you what to believe. You know, a lot of people, like when it comes to religion and politics, people tell you what to believe and they push really hard their beliefs on other people. Fuck that. I'm not doing that. I'm not telling you to believe what I'm saying. If it's not true for you, then don't believe it. It's true for me. This is my literal experience. You can't tell me my experience is false or it's wrong or it's the devil or it's self-deception because it is literally the only thing you have in life is experience, and this is what I experienced. The only thing you ever have to go off of is experience. You can't just take other people's beliefs and make them yours. You have to go experience life yourself. And this is what I did, and this is what I'm doing. And this is just a result of that. And I feel like I need to share that story for you to get a better understanding of me and where I'm coming from and why I have this mentality that I do. So for me, LSD wasn't just a drug, it was a mirror. It showed me all the bullshit and self-deception and the things I was putting myself through. And it also did that for reality too, and just kind of normal society. It just kind of like stripped away all the bullshit and self-deception, and it stripped away my ego completely. During that trip, I had complete and total ego death. I lost control of everything. And I didn't know my name, I didn't know my family, I didn't know anything. I didn't even know I was a human. Like everything else around me just dissolved. I was just like a part of infinite consciousness, a part of infinite reality. Honestly, it was the most terrifying experience of my life, and I wouldn't wish it on anybody. But looking back, I don't think I would change it. I wouldn't change it because I really do think it helped me for the better. It was a very traumatic experience, and it happened in a very harsh way, but I think it was necessary. I think it was a necessary part of my process, and I think it got me to where I am today. Like I said, I'm not trying to glorify LSD in any way. I'm just telling my story and what it did for me. I'm not saying if you do psychedelics, it's just automatically you're going to be enlightened. That's your way to enlightenment and a deeper spiritual journey. It is, but it's not like, don't do it like that. Don't use it like that, because it took me hundreds of times to reach that. At first, I really was just using it to get high. I was abusing it, and it kind of basically just told me, hey, if you're going to keep abusing it like this, we're going to show you what's up. And that's exactly what it did. So I'm not saying go do psychedelics, it's going to show you all the answers, it's going to solve all your problems. It made my life a lot worse for many years before it got better. So yeah, call me crazy, believe what you want. Like I said, I would never try to push my beliefs onto other people and try to tell you that this is your truth. This is not your truth. This is my truth. This is my story. This is my experience. So I just felt like I wanted to share that. And I can't deny that psychedelics didn't completely change my life, because they did. And long term, I like to think that it was for the better. Sometimes it takes completely losing yourself to actually find yourself. Psychedelics completely stripped away all my beliefs and notions about society, and it just completely stripped that away so I could start to rebuild it without anyone else's beliefs, without groupthink, and start to actually think for myself. So that's all I got for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you watched to the end, thank you. It means a lot to me, and most of my videos aren't really like this. I just wanted to share this because it's an important part of my process, and I wanted to share it to kind of let you guys get to know me a little bit better and kind of where I'm at and why I do what I do. So most of my videos are a lot more practical. There's stuff about like running and fitness and just trying to become the best version of myself, because that's what I want for me and that's what I want for everyone else too. This is kind of the mindset behind that. So welcome to Simon's Ascent. My name's Simon. If you like what I had to say and you want to become the best version of yourself, stick around. What a beautiful day.